Hey everybody, we're taking a look at the verse of the day using the YouVersion Bible app. Today's verse is Isaiah 41:13. Let me read this for you. For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help. This verse is written in a part of Isaiah where it's set up like a courtroom scene. God is addressing the nations that surround Israel, that have been oppressing Israel and causing Israel all kind of fear and worry. And God is reminding them, just in a short phrase, that he's been there for them in the past. In fact, the verses just before this, he reminds them of who he is and how he's been there for them. And then a very specific name for God is used. This is the Lord your God. Whenever it says Lord in all caps, that's the holy name. That's Yahweh. Now, that reason that name is important is it's not just some idea of God out there, but this is a God who has history with them. This is a God who's walked with them and their nation in the past and taken care of them. And he says, I will take care of you in the future. That's a really cool thing to think about, this idea of God that's presented throughout the Bible. God isn't just an idea in the Bible. It's not just God as a concept or a thought. It's not that God is out there somewhere and maybe there's a God and maybe there isn't. We don't know. We kind of think about it, or maybe there's some sort of force in the universe kind of driving things along, but that's not the biblical picture of God at all. No, the biblical picture of God is one who's involved, one who is known by name. The biblical picture of God is one who gets involved. That's why I love that image, that God would hold your hand. He's one who reaches out and knows you and holds your hand. That's the God that we know. I have two little kids, and when we cross a street or walk through a parking lot, it's really natural. They just reach out and grab my hand. I was doing this just yesterday with my daughter, and she just grabbed my hand, and we navigated through a parking lot. That's important to me, right? I don't know what dangers are out there and who's driving those big trucks and might not see her. She can be nervous in a place like that, and she knows just instinctively, Dad, we hold hands in this place. It's scary, and you'll walk me through. Now, I also have a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, and when I walk through a parking lot with them, well, it's a different story. I naturally want to reach out and grab their hands and protect them, but they pull away. That 13-year-old won't hold your hand walking through a parking lot. I think for us, so often, we come to places where we're in a time of need. And we need a God who would hold our hand and remind us that he's holding our hand. But I often act more like the 15-year-old and the 13-year-old than I do the little guys. I pull my hand back. I don't need that. I don't need help. I love this passage because it reminds us it's okay to depend on God. It's okay to be in a place of brokenness or a place of fear, a place of worry, and need God. And so there's an encouragement here. If God's a God who will reach out and grab hold of your right hand, then we need to be a people that will reach our right hand up. Reach out for God. To lean on God every day. Even in times like this. Maybe especially in times like this. Let me pray for you today. God, I thank you for your word. I'm blown away that you're a God who's not an idea out there somewhere, but one who grabs hold of my hand. Today, I need you to take hold of my hand, God. Help me to reach my hand up. Help me to be looking for you. To take hold and lean in. Pray this in your name. Amen. Thanks for taking a look at the verse of the day with me today. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.